If we are going to march and do anything at all and not be a body politic, we failed before we started.
Enemies obsessed, they need controversy. I strike with furious anger, no mercy. I'ma eat all they food till I'm thirsty. Purging the clergy like Friday the 13th. The church got too many devils, hard working.
All right, greetings everybody. Is there anyone here for their first time? Never been here before? Welcome, welcome. We're here every Monday night, and this forum, this meeting, is ran by the International Indigenous Society and the Aboriginal Republic of North America. We are a society and indigenous government that is advocating autonomy, advocating a new look at civics, economics, your heritage, and every other aspect of your life for the group that generally calls themselves African Americans. And we're here every night from about 7 to about 9. We talk about any one of those 4 subjects that I just mentioned, including health. And these classes are designed for you to get some new information that you maybe never heard of before, to network with some people, to ask some questions about things that you may have heard from seeing us online, YouTube, social media, news conferences. I don't know how you came to know about us, but through whatever methodology you heard about what we're doing here in the class, this is an opportunity for you. Ask questions, make statements, get some clarity. Tonight, we're going to continue our conversation on the book that we released last week called The Economic Bible. How many people got that book last week? 2 people? Okay. All right. The purpose of that book, again, was to give you some incentive to study economics in what we're calling North America, and then to figure out how the economic engine started here, where it's going, and how it applies to us, and what potential available remedies can we discuss and implement to make our group situation and individual situations better. Brothers and sisters, that is a hell of a project to partake in, considering all the factors we're about to say. Talk about it. That type of operation is a real, mature operation. Because when you come to a good study of the foundation of economics here in what we're calling the United States of America, it's going to lead you to understand when you look at black people and you see the group situation, not just a few millionaires or people who made money, the group situation is going to bring clarity to why it is like it is and what will happen if it just continues to go on this cascade. Everybody in this room is affected by this conversation, including myself, because we have been affected by the economic engine, all right, in some type of way. Right now, you might have the IRS trying to get after you, student loans, regular debts. You might have some issues with bringing new money in and having excessive bills, all right, where they're creating stress on you, your children, your marriage, or whatever. What we're offering is that it is by design. It is a mathematical design. It is not a set of haphazard events. And we're also offering that we're really, really going to have to mature to do better as a group and get better as a group. Not that we're coming to save everybody from some great catastrophe, because we couldn't possibly accomplish that considering all factors. That is an illusion that someday all black people are going to realize that they've been in a bad situation and all hold hands and sing Kumbaya. It actually feels good to think about it, considering the fact that we've been through so much of what we've been through. But it's not going to happen. What can happen, what is happening, is that some of us who have become conclusively aware of our circumstances can really dig in our heels to put the effort together that Brother Amin Ra was talking about to really make some stuff happen in our lives that probably has never happened. We can do that. However, in order to do it effectively, we have to get in a position to do it and to begin to get results. And then if we want to go grab our brothers and sisters' hands, we can then grab their hands for a reason. Because we can say, sure, we figured out what's happening with this process, with that process. Why is it that most of our people have bad credit? What can they do about that situation that's different than what they're doing now? What roadblocks are they going to come up against? These are questions that can be answered. These are conversations that we can have. We're here to have the conversations. So I wanted to focus in the beginning of tonight to get us to see some of the traps that we fall into. All right? We fall into a lot of traps. You know why we fall into a lot of traps? Because we don't have enough honest conversation. Honest conversation is the healing for everybody. What is honest conversation? Honest conversation is addressing any matter, any person, any incidents with good intent to actually highlight, if there is an issue, how we can accomplish learning something from it and getting past it with a new reality that's good for the individuals and everybody. If we look at black people in the United States of America, we can come to some conclusions very easily. We can come to the conclusion that since we've been interfacing with these people, the indigenous people they stole out of Africa and our indigenous American ancestors, since we are a conglomerate of both, that we went through a very trying set of circumstances and are still going through those. And that the circumstances that we're going through are unique to us as a people. They are not shared by any other group. I must focus on that because when we start to address our issues, we invite people in to tell their struggle, which is a struggle, but it has nothing to do with how we're going to resolve our unique issue. So as soon as we get together to come together, have a big meeting, a movement, a march, everybody wants to bring their issue in. And you know what happens to our issues? They get smothered. So Barack Obama can come out. When he came into office, he addressed the said Native Americans and said he was going to do this. And maybe he did some of it. And he addressed Israel and said he's going to do this. And maybe he addressed those. He addressed the Asian community and their businesses and what we can do to this. He addressed the LGBT community. You know, all of the people who are gay and lesbian, and said we need to do this. Not one piece of legislation or conversation about proactively doing something for the descendants of slaves, the African Americans, the blacks, these indigenous people, to address any of their issues. Not one. Under the guise that he's addressing issues for all Americans, not just us. That is what draws our people into confusion, because they get it inside of their mind, which is fine, they have a right to do that, that we should be focusing on them as a group. Amos Wilson basically breaks that down as you're rejecting your blackness because you understand the consequences of accepting it. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? That if you don't have to be radical, you just stand for yourself. And because of the perpetuation of a social construct that has been surrounded by who you are, there's consequences for you taking that stance, which is a natural stance. And those consequences are the rhythm of racism is so deep in this country that to speak and stand up for black is to be radical. And that has been socially engineered. Why? Why would people try to figure out how to implement measures to psychologically keep certain things in a certain framework, to affect a specific group of people? And who are these people? And when we come to our group, any one of us, you, me, Al Sharpton, whoever, and say we want to address these issues, how aware are we to functionally address them to the opposition, right? That has constructed certain things so that you want to address those. So, when we're looking at our people, brothers and sisters, we're looking at a complex situation. It is a complex situation. Listen, you got all kind of leaders in the black community. Ali Muhammad, Wesley Muhammad, Umar Johnson, Claude Anderson, Africa Bambaataa. You can go all the way down the line and look across the country, and you can see all these people who have some level of influence, political, economic, or any other way that they have influence. Some of them in leadership capacity, some of them elected officials, wherever it may be. And we can all testify that we have these unique situations going on. So how do we uniquely address it? If you look back over our history, after so-called slavery, we started addressing issues. We started coming up with paradigms or ideologies on how to fix the Negro problem. And what did we come up with? We said, Reconstruction. Let's put our money where our mouth is. Let's use our gifts as blacksmiths, as engineers, as inventors. Let's invest. We're not integrated at this time. Let's build ourselves up from the slavery. Let's see if we could get in office. So throughout the early 20th century, you had Oscar the Priest and others trying to get in to be elected officials, and some of them accomplished it. And we thought, well, we're separated, so we'll do the best with our separation, and we'll see if we can integrate gradually. So what you saw in the early 20th century is a lot of black towns like Rosewood and Tulsa. Our people had skill sets, they had resources, and they worked together because the climate was anti-us. So we went about our business and did the best we can. Some people got to be up with the white folks. Most of us didn't. We did the best that we could with that. And we did some great things. Right? Then something happened. Something happened. Now I want you to take the mind of and I'm not saying this to classify you. I want you to take the mind of an upper level aristocrat who's running the plantation. The upper level can look down on the hill and see what everybody's doing. And they can look down and see we built the towns and cities. Okay, that's happening. Cool, no problem. But then you start getting these teachers to come, not only to address these groups who are now segregated, but to get them to see a better quality of themselves so they can amplify what they're doing and solve problems that they haven't solved. Marcus Garvey, on the scene. Noble Drew Ali, on the scene. Honorable Elijah Muhammad, on the scene. All these people popping up because what's happening is post-slavery, we're beginning to become aware of a global view of black people. The history. We're not the cursed son of Noah, Ham, the descendant of Ham. We're much greater than that. All this stuff starts spilling over. We start to get all our information. And you know what it does to us? It starts building us up gradually. And once you start building yourself up, you start doing what? Behaving differently. Start eating different. Start associating different. Start dealing with your resources different. So 30s, 40s, 50s, this thing is happening amongst black people where you have this renaissance that, guess what, is not controlled or created by the former oppressors. It is a self-generated mechanism happening. You need to pay attention to that. Why? Because whenever you here do something of your own accord that affects society, first is studied by the people who have a perpetual plan to not make only you slaves, but everybody else. But there's a focus on you for a reason. So when you have that self-propelled thing where you bring in these new ideas, ideologies that are affecting the immediate environment and the behavior of people, it is studied. After it's studied, various techniques to highlight it are given inauguration to attempt to tear it down. Media, whatever. Infiltration, counterintelligence. Let's get a deeper idea of what's going on with these people. What is this? Then, after it is infiltrated, this is big. Whatever it was moving, a clone is created to address what demographic it has attracted. What do I mean by that? You go back to the Panthers and how they were in the community, addressing the community with charitable acts. All types of charitable acts. Education, food, social, leisure. That's one group, but I'm highlighting this was happening because they played a big part. That had the attention amongst young people had been given that attention. Hip hop. Ideology growing out of a confidence in being black, African, indigenous, and all of this stuff being spoken through song, beats, and lyrics, strictly from us. What happened to these types of paradigms? White folks studied it, they studied you, they said we want it to go away, but we don't want it to go away entirely. We want to take from it and create a model so that we pacify that desire that was in them to create that particular thing. Go get the Kerner Commission report and read it. Now I'm talking, and it might not be necessarily this, but I'll use the words, high-level social engineering. High-level social engineering takes account for the psychology of people. And if you have a group of people, whether they be multinational businessmen, officials in government who are all sitting together as white males in fraternal groups who know that America is theirs. I'm going to say that again so you can get it. White men in fraternal groups who know America is theirs. There's no mystery God. They're sitting in rooms studying what's going on their plantation to make sure it goes the way that they want it to go. So now, if that's happening repeatedly, they're not just studying you from a sense of not knowing who you are. These fraternal orders come from a time where the fraternal orders that you had ruled and dominated. You follow what I'm saying? So now they have the records, the traditions from their families, from the plantation or beyond, that say, okay, you're dealing with these folks. No, they're not Negroes for real. Don't forget who they are. And they put it in code. So now you're Hiram Abiff, the master builder, who got struck 3 times and buried in a shallow grave. That's you. That's masonry, keeping the codes on. Yeah, we took this thing over, and this is who we took it from. We took it from a master builder. So don't sleep on it. Because as soon as you sleep on them, it's going to be a problem. So my point is, they come amongst you and they study you. And not only do they study you to annihilate where you're going, they're smart enough to know that the desire is in you to move in that direction, and they create clones. Do you know what I'm saying to you? What I'm saying to you is that the clone is to synthetically address the need that is calling from your spirit to bring something out. So now, because we're not fully awake, we get mystified by the clone, and we're not aware, as aware as we should be. All right, so 50s, 60s, then these groups started, they start developing into movements. You had the Black Power movement that had ideology. Garvey mixed with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, mixed with, a whole bunch of other stuff, all together in different groups, but pretty much the same thing, nationalism. Then you had the other groups who said, well, wait a minute, let's go a different way. Let's do it a different way. Let's march. So we had the what? March on Washington. Does anybody remember what the March on Washington was about? Jobs and justice. Sound familiar? When was the March on Washington? 63. So if you've been hearing jobs and justice since 63, and you haven't got the jobs and you haven't got the justice, we have to look at the justice system and the labor. Why aren't you getting it? Well, there's no plan for you. You're actually asking for it. Who are you asking? We're asking Congress to come up with some type of things to help us. Right? And guess what? They did. What did they give you? Oh, we're going to give you civil rights, affirmative action. We're going to set up a quota for you as a nigger. Not you as yourself, you as a, and what do I mean? I don't mean to be disrespectful. What I mean a quota as a nigger is, it's just chump change to who you actually are. It's a clone. So we're marching. Then some people say, we don't need to march. Let's do it ourselves. Shoot, like Mama said, do it for self. Okay, we're just going to get everybody together, get them under a system, and work together. So you had that operating, and then you start seeing certain things go on. So now I'm trying to show you two different themes here. Groups of people working autonomously in what they can do and what it develops into, and then groups of people who are asking, right? So now the asking becomes a carrot. But inside of that carrot, you got to have leaders that you keep in place. Social engineering. So now if Martin King is not going to do what we say, what are we going to do? If we can, we're going to take him out. Why are we going to take him out? The shock of death inside of the minds of that we have grown will give us exactly what we want. What? Submission. Through fear. Because if I do what he did, that's the outcome. I'm chilling. Then they say, look, that's exactly what he was asking for. Come on, be the mayor. Be the governor. Be the president. Come on in. Yeah, no, we done with that side. Now you gotta ask the question, what made white folks decide, let's let them in? It was a better plan. Why are we gonna let them in? Because, I'm gonna use Amos Wilson again, we can hide white supremacy behind a black face. That's awesome. Not for us. It's awful for us. We can hide it behind a black. So now we're gonna go with that plan. And every now and then, the ideology is have people in place. Something goes wrong, let's march. How do you know to march? There's nothing wrong with marching if you have a plan. Nothing wrong. You can get together, protest, bring attention to the subject, and then you have a plan, right? But you go to the march. Where's the pamphlet on what we're going to do? Where's the summary of A to Z? Where's the 10-point issue that we can actually execute? How are we going to keep assessments of it? Not there. So we had the Million Man March. Listen, that was one of the most beautiful and timely events of all time. You can't deny that. Timely. Why? Because it brought international attention to the fact that we are not asleep at that time. And there was a lot going on at that time. Great. It happened. That was 1995. That should have been the last march we had to do. Another march is happening this year. October 10th, 2015. So, should we be marching? Now, if you love Minister Farrakhan, this is not a bash Minister Farrakhan moment. I will absolutely not do that. I'm not involved in I will speak straight on the issue, but I'm not here to bash, and I'm not here to say that you shouldn't participate, because I'm not here to scramble people. But I will give some analysis. Now, and this is on principle, it's not personal. If you get there by October and you haven't had an agenda, something is wrong. If the agenda is the same thing or close to what the agenda, because there was a national agenda given out. I still have the book. The purple book with gold writing on it, national agenda with the points, right? If the points match then, that means we've wasted 20 years. We wasted. That means in 20 years, we had a thing that we didn't execute. Why? For what? Why aren't we executing? What's stopping us from executing whatever is on there? The problem is, one, this is your homework. One, who is the we that we're addressing? Think about it for a second, because I'm going to come to it. Oh, we're addressing all black people. What does that mean? What type of black people? Homosexual black people? You're addressing them too? They're a part of it? Come on in. Come on in, homos. We're going to build this unique thing by taking an agenda that was socially and even biologically constructed by social engineers and invite it into our remedy and say you can stay as you are. Now, I have never heard Mr. Farrakhan say that. I'm just saying they're going to be there. They're going to be there. All right? Second, Europeans, come on in. Oh, Brother Ali, you need to let some Europeans in. No, we don't. Why? Because we're still dealing with the same issue. The Europeans are not invited. And we should be able to say it publicly. No, you're not invited. This is about genocide and denationalization. Where's your genocide and denationalization papers? Oh, it never happened? Okay, good. Stay over there. This is a private meeting amongst people who suffer genocide. They don't invite your black ass to the Jewish Holocaust meeting. You're not a Jew, and you didn't go through their Holocaust. So why are you there? Oh, I want inclusivity. Man, them Jews gonna lock the door. You're not coming in. You're not, listen, what? Politically speaking, you're not a Jew. So now they got a body what? With a culture that goes with it with an identifiable experience. So now, who is the we should be a body politic. Why are you having a march in 20 years you didn't form the body politic? Because that body politic can do what? It can be specific and not vague. What is specific and versus vague? Now, you're going to get mad. Some of y'all going to get mad at me now. I'm even online. It's okay. You're going to get mad at me for saying this. Try not to, and try to be patient with me. The theme of this year's march is justice or else. Justice or else. Justice from who? And what is the else? Because if we have to get to the march to know what the else is, we're unprepared. The else should be in writing. Well, you say, well, that's not good strategy, brother. We got to have the good strategy. I don't want to hear that bullshit. Why, Brother Ali? Because even if it is an inner strategy, a part of the inner strategy is to keep the troops informed of where they're going. You don't have to put it all on paper. Put enough to satisfy the consciousness of the people that they're moving on something that's sound. You follow me? And even if you got some more inner strategy that has to be onioned, we understand that. But we need to know what the else is. Now, justice from who? If you're talking to the U.S. government, you got to be talking to the executive branch, the legislative branch, and the judicial branch. Give me a moment. I need to pull out my notes first. Because now you're in trouble. Now, this is why we have to operate as a circle. You follow me? A circle in mathematics is the most perfect shape. And in geometry, it's the sphere. Why is the sphere and the circle so dynamic? Why are the planets not cubes? Or triangles, or some type of other. Why are they made as spheres? They're made as spheres and circular because it reduces the friction of their motion. They can move and keep the order of what they're moving through and reduce friction to be non-existent. So now, when you're forming structures, you have to form them in the way that nature reduces friction. All points on that planet, in that sphere, are intricately tied to one another. If we were sitting on a cube, spinning in space, you'd be flying off. If it was some other type of shape, who are you going to go to get remedy? Okay. We're going to go to the courts. See, this is why ignorance can't lead. And this is why we have to be a circle to study enough, to gather enough of the information, because as we study as a circle enough, then we can come to final conclusions about what we are looking at to make the right decision. You are never going to sue in the United States court and get justice. You might win a case. You might get a couple dollars. All right? But at the end of that hallway is 9 people in black who ain't thinking black. And let me tell you what they tell you about you getting justice in a court. Check this out. Let's say we sue. We're going to sue the United States government in their own courts. Find some kind of way to do it. Because somebody might come up with this, and I want you to get a preemptive analysis of it. We're going to come together, we're going to do a class action suit for reparations. We're going to take it all the way to the Supreme Court. We're going to sue for all of the injury of the judicial system on our people. Whatever that may be. Come up with an analysis to come to that conclusion. Do you know why I'm so hard on the judicial system? Do you know why? Because I know you can't get justice from it. Because it's controlled by white males. And you will never, ever in your life get group remedy from white males. You do understand that, don't you? Yes, sir. Yeah. If you don't, let me give you an idea how this works. Now, this is supposed to be the most just opportunistic system on the planet. That's how it's marketed, right? Mm-hmm. It is nothing but a Nazi Gestapo. Mm-hmm. How do we know? Let's read what they say. Supreme Court case. All right. Let me cite the names of it. Morales versus Waco. 502, Morales is spelled M-I-R-E-L-E-S versus Waco, W-A-C-O. 502 U.S. 9 and 11. This is a Supreme Court case, citing again. 502 U.S. 911, U.S. 1991. Look at what this case says about judicial immunity. Judicial immunity is not only immunity from damages, but also immunity from suit. So I was helping one of my brothers with a case. This is a Title 42 case, color of authority, where the judge, having seen a federal judge give an order, decided to try to override the order in court. It happened. It happened 3 times. They went back and erased 2 of the times from the record. There's no record of the proceeding ever happening. Cool. Don't matter anyway. We got one and we got the order. So we sue. We sue the state entity and the judicial officer in his official capacity, right? The judge gets a lawyer to write up his defense. And in his defense, he cites this case. The judge even had and Ghost can verify this, I'm not going to say the name of the case. The judge had the nerve to say, I am not a person. We got it on paper. What did he mean? You are not a person. If you're not a person, and the 14th Amendment says persons, that means that you're saying it doesn't apply to you. All persons born in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof. Okay. The judge is saying he is not a person, and person is used in the Constitution on an amendment that was supposed to be for you. And you are going to sue him for justice. I want you to think about that. You're going to have to think about it for a second. The judge is saying, I'm not a person. You called a person, and you want remedy from him. Now, why did he say he's not a person? What the judge was saying is, in my official capacity, I can do whatever I want from this fiction. You're going to go sue the fiction. You can't sue me. I'm real. All right. Let me water that down. If you go to the enumeration of, you got to pull out a pen for this one, if you ain't never heard it. If you go to the enumeration of the census, matter of fact, let me pull it up. We online. We got to do this. Let's pull it up. All right, I was looking up some national selections. All right, so let's pull this up. I'm going to pull up the U.S. I want you to pay attention to what is being said here. Constitution. See, this is the stuff that you don't learn in school, unless you're in our school. Aboriginal University, you're not going to learn it. All right, so let's go. We need the full text. Let's go to it. And we need the 14th Amendment. We need Article 1, Section 2, Clause 3. All right. Okay. The enumeration of the census. See that? Let's see if I can share this with the people who are online, because I don't want them to see me only. I want y'all to see this too. All right? Give me a moment online so I can share what I'm showing. There we go. Pay attention. We're walking around here thinking that we equal. Article 1, Section 2, Clause 3. You see the red type right there? This is the enumeration of the census. Census is counting who is a constituent of the body politic. From the origin. Pay attention to this. Representatives and direct taxes shall be apportioned among the several states, which means the states at the time were the only entities that could tax nationals or citizens. There was no federal tax. If the federal got any money, it got it from the state, not directly from the citizen. Because the federal government was not allowed to tax the citizens at this time. There was a breach. Came later. The other came later. Shall be apportioned among the several states, which may be included within this union, according to their respective numbers, which shall be determined by adding the whole number of what?
Free persons.
What?
Free persons.
Adjective, noun. Free persons. Why couldn't you just say person? Why did you have to say free person? Because some people weren't free at the time. And then they started talking about it. Including those bound to a service of term for a term of years, and excluding Indians, which we say is indigenous people, not taxed. So now the states could tax who? Their citizens. They couldn't tax the indigenous people. Then it says 3/5 of all other persons. So the other persons were what? Commodities that were taxed by a percentage, 75%. We're not going to implement a full tax on you because you're property. It's a property tax. So you got free persons, then you got fictions. They tried to make you, at this time, the fiction. Now this is going to blow your mind. So the judge here, he wouldn't fit the 3/5 of a person because he's not a person. So what is it? All right, so now that same clause was amended with the 14th Amendment. And look at what it did in the amendment. So the 14th Amendment says right there what? All persons, doesn't it say person? All right, now look at clause 2. You see clause 2 right here? Isn't it the same as what I just read from Article 1, Section 2, Clause 3 of the original Constitution that was ratified in 1791? This is 1868, 77 years later, with an attempt to do what? Give citizenship to businesses and so-called Negroes. And look at what they took out. Representatives shall be apportioned among the several states according to their respective numbers, counting, let's go over so you can see it, counting for the whole number of persons. What did they do? They took out the free. They took the free off. They took the free off. They left the indigenous people there, excluding Indian people. They took the free off. So you're going to go to this judge who says he's not a person, because he knows he's not a fiction. He knows he is of the posterity of the people who formed the body politic. He knows you're not. You're a person suing him. And he claims what? 11th Amendment immunity. Let me keep reading. The judge will not be deprived of immunity because the action he took was in error. If a judge does something in error, he still, according to this Supreme Court case law, which is the second one, Stump, 435 U.S. 356, S-T-U-M-P, 435 U.S. 356. The judge will not be deprived of immunity because the action he took was in error, was done maliciously, or was in excess of his authority. Oh, really? Now, I'm not saying that there's nothing you can do about that because this is a Supreme Court case, but you can do something. Because the Supreme Court ain't nothing but a company anyway. It doesn't have a year, but it's S-T-U-M-P 435 U.S. at 356, and this is being recorded too. So you can go to the Aboriginal Global Media page and get this. So check it out. If the Supreme Court does something like they did with the firearms case, what did they say? For the first time in history a few years ago, they got judicial interpretation of the Second Amendment, which says that you have the right to bear arms. And what did they say in it? They said you have the right, Americans have the right to bear arms in their homes. Okay. What are you talking about? What if I'm homeless? That's a conditional interpretation. You made the interpretation. Let's just deal with the small thing. You made the interpretation that I have a home. So if I don't have a home and I'm homeless, can I carry my gun everywhere? Good question. It also says that judges deal with something called selective incorporation doctrine. If you've never heard of it, look it up. Selective incorporation doctrine. It means that if you, there's no other way to say this, if you are a 14th Amendment citizen and you did not get the Bill of Rights by way of it being naturally applied to you, then you now have to have a Supreme Court case to back up your right to implement that particular thing. Let me say that differently. The Bill of Rights was written by the states basically to protect the rights of the people of the states and the states themselves against the encroachment of the federal government. Got it? What the selective incorporation doctrine is, it makes it a two-way street. So now it can be applied both ways. Why did it need to be applied both ways? Because now you have federal citizens. Prior to the time, you didn't have federal citizens. So it has to be a two-way street. I gotta say that differently. You don't have rights, you have privileges. Those privileges are enacted through a court case that allows for the Supreme Court to make a decision about what your rights are or are not. Brown versus the Board of Education. Supreme Court case gives so-called groups of people rights that they were being obstructed against. Now they call that balance of powers. I just call it powers out of order. Because it makes it look like a branch is doing something to help you. So my point is, if a judge is immune, and they're not persons, and you're coming as a person, a class action person or an individual person, a person who doesn't have their own body politic, a person who's not coming on the grounds of international law to highlight the injury. You coming as a domestic person trying to get remedy from the judicial branch, you are going to fail. Let's go to Congress. We're going to sue Congress because they're the ones that passed the laws that allowed for our ancestors to be enslaved. We're going to sue Congress. No, you're not. I like to see. You're going to do a class action to sue Congress to get justice. Let me highlight something to you real quick. You got to do it. It's in the book, but I got to do it. You're not going to sue nobody. What is about to happen is you're about to get disappointed. So how are you going to get disappointed? Why, brother, why are you saying you're not going to sue Congress? Because the economic Bible is about to show you why I'm saying this. Why are you saying it, brother? I'm saying this because of this. Now, I'm saying all of what I'm saying to get to the point about all roads lead to autonomy. That's where I'm going with this. If we are going to march and do anything at all and not be a body politic, we fail before we start at this time in space. So let's look at why I'm saying this about Congress, about your House of Representatives and Senate. This is a simple way to do it. Look, who are they? They're a company and they're trading. Who are they trading? They're trading you. The servicer of the debts for the Department of Treasury. Who are they exactly? They're 21, sometimes 22 added, primary dealers who are banks and multinational corporations. They are the IRS. IRS is their straw man. Well, why are they doing business with the Department of Treasury? They do securities, notes, and bonds. What are these security notes and bonds? This is the national debt. What is the national debt? It's all the debt that you owe, that you sign up for, that you don't even know, that you're creating wealth for other people. And not yourself. You're creating debt for yourself. Well, the system has to run some kind of way where it damn sure need to be revised. Revised how? What does justice look like? If you go, let's take the suit, we're going to sue Congress. What are we suing them for? We're suing them for justice. Okay, what y'all want? What y'all want? Well, we want the police to stop killing us. They're going to pull in a Rule 12B action against you and suspend your action for failure to state a claim upon which relief can be granted. Did you hear me? Well, what do you mean? Well, if you want the police to stop killing you, go sue the police. Don't sue us. We didn't do it. Okay, well, we want our people, senators and reps, to pass legislation, special legislation. What kind of special legislation are you going to pass? Oh, well, because you got body cams, right? Body cams ain't working. They're still implementing what they're implementing. Backtrack. Silent moment. Why is it happening anyway? Uniquely to us. Why? What's the impetus for it to happen? Anybody see the pool party thing they just put on CNN? Where the girl got slammed all around, slammed our little sister around?
Yes, sir.
Reverse racism moment. I'm a cop. I'm Ali Muhammad the cop. I slam a white girl like that. Grab her. On national TV. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. I'm waiting for the moment because I just want to see the obverse. I want to see a black officer drag a white woman around like that. I want to see a commentary. So I might go join the force just to do it, just to see it. That's how much I want to see it. I want to see what people say. It's not happening. It's a unique situation. It's not really happening. It's happening to you. It's happening to us because the United States of America was bullshit from the beginning. See? That's how easy it is. Why was it bullshit from the beginning? The Moors founded the United... Shut up! What are you talking about? The Moors founded the United States of America? Are you kidding me? I'm wondering what kind of psyop programming that is. Okay, the Moors influence. Okay, I got that. Great. Thank you. The template for Moorish and indigenous knowledge was taken to... Great. We didn't found this. This is theirs. This is theirs. Let them have it. Just take whatever you invested. Gradually out to put it into something worth you. So I'm saying it was bullshit from the beginning because they had to start with murdering, killing, maiming, genociding you. How could it ever be legitimate to any black person walking around? I want you to think about this. See, now this is the PSYOPs program. You see? Something is wrong with this. We should be given the slip. When they say the Star Spangled Banner, oh, niggas get the slip. What's the slip? Oh, y'all can go chill. Y'all don't gotta do that. Everybody understands that what happened. Everybody understands that that's Francis Scott Key. Everybody understands he was a district attorney who owned your ancestors. What are you standing up for? What are you standing? You're standing up because you a nigga. And niggas are made by white people, which means they're robots. Go, nigga. Back up, nigga. Stand. Sing, nigga. Get your nose brown, nigga. Pop it like it's hot, nigga. Whatever. Do something. Just press the damn button. Now you know when white people are pressing a button. How do you know when white people are pressing a button? How do you know? Even if it's in a black body. You hear me? Jobs injustice. Oh, that's a white man. Al Sharpton is white. Oh, brother, that's disrespectful to the elder. I don't care. No, because you know what you're doing at this point. Now, if you deserve respect, you're going to get it. Al Sharpton is not my elder. Not mine. If you're offended by that, I'm sorry. I can't apologize. Benjamin Crump is not my elder. How are you going to go through all the cases from all the way, Mike Brown and all these cases, and you never filed any charges for misprosecution in any of these cases? And they got it on CNN. You went to school and got a Juris Doctorate degree, and you don't even know how to file for misprosecution in a case where they put it on CNN. You got to do the research. So who are you? A Greek? He's Omega. Omega, yeah. He said, you the last nigga we gonna call. Omega, last. You the last one we gonna call. Why are you the last one we gonna call? Because we know you're going to not do what you're supposed to do. You may not even know. It may not be your fault. You just got educated as a Juris Doctor. You're afraid. Or maybe you do know. And you always put as the person, because how you show up every time? I mean, what is this? Let's get back. I don't want to get distracted. Justice from suing Congress in their courts as a person and a fiction in their system with granted privileges, you're not going to get any remedy. Executive. We're going to sue the executive to try to get them to take over the police departments, and Obama better do something. Not one executive order, nothing signed on your behalf in 8 years. Remember Harlem when he got in office? Oh, remember Harlem? It was the Harlem Renaissance. It was party on 125th. It was Puffy selling t-shirts. It was black people being loyal. Just on the sake that you're black. And you got a black wife and black children. Man, I don't care nothing about your record. I don't care if you signed for the wiretaps when you was a senator. We still gonna put you in office just to have you there. Man, just do something. Not one thing. Not one. Not one. He stood up for gay people. I saw something online. This is gonna make you real, man. I saw something online where some LGBT women were highlighting that something since their movement started, they've had 15 people killed because they're LGBT. So what? Why am I saying so what? Show me one LGBT group that stands up for reparative action for black people. One. Zero. Now tell me, how did you get rights as a minority to stand up and say, we deserve to be treated fair? You got it off of our backs.
That's right.
So now, the new, Dr. Umar just broke this down. The new movement is, civil rights is a focus on LGBT, gay people. It's been completely defocused off of black people.
Yes.
Because now you got a black president and you're cool. It's over. All the issues still here. Every time you hear an issue, it's arguing about whether we accept gay people. No, we don't.
That's right.
Y'all cool. We ain't killed none of y'all. We ain't even messing with y'all. You got our cousin gay now. You follow me?
Yes, sir.
My uncle gay now because of you. I ain't never seen you wearing RBG. So you infiltrating us, we not infiltrating you. So what you crying about? You got it good. And whenever you get enough, you can get one of these crazy black men and women to get a little taste of some melanin. You got all the advantages. Y'all know what I'm saying to y'all.
Yeah.
Listen, you cannot sue the executive branch and get justice. The executive branch is a lineage of henchmen. From the 8th president, which you call the first president, George Washington, all the way up to the one that you have now. Oh, brother, don't speak bad against the president. The NSA is listening. Well, nigga, get out. If you're that scared, don't come to Ali Muhammad lectures. Why? This man is the first president. This is sad. He's the first president to make the major strikes on Africa that he did. Taking out whole cities. His father is an African. So what part of the meeting with the Rand Corporation or whoever gives you public policy and your Joint Chiefs of Staff, what part of you made you do that? Yeah, say it again? Okay. See, the body politic gonna actually have to have some rules. Okay, if one parent is white and one is black, okay, yeah, you can come in, but you can never marry another white person again. That's the rule. Why? Because we gotta kill that devil.
That's right.
We gotta get the gene out. You forced it on us anyway. We wouldn't have had it. It seems to have a proclivity to want to do evil. Oh, why are you still calling white people devils? Because that's what they are.
Yes, sir. Break it down.
Well, it doesn't apply to all white people. All right, okay. We'll let your friend go at work. Talking about the ones that's committing genocide, man. Okay. Then we can get later to a scientific conversation, but we'll just leave you there. You ain't ready yet. You're too emotional. So, justice or else. If we go ask these people to do something and then they don't do it, then what are we going to do? Well, I heard it. I didn't hear it from Minister Farrakhan, but I heard this. And maybe he did say it, but I would never put a word, boycott. We're going to set up boycotts. It's too late. Boycotts worked in the 60s. You know why boycotts worked in the 60s? You know why? Because SNAP and WIC was not as prevalent. Okay, so you got SNAP and WIC predominating amongst black women. What they gonna boycott? You tripping. Boycott what? No, they getting the white bread, the Wonder Bread. Because they gotta feed their babies because they are in the backdrop of the genocide. They don't have no options. We're gonna boycott the buses. Well, how am I gonna get to work? Sacrifice for the nation. What nation? We didn't come here as a nation. We came here as a loose group of black people with no plan. Just to have a bunch of speakers. Okay, well, yeah, sure. We need speakers. Y'all speakers better stop playing. The people are going to get you first. You know why? Because you're collecting money and you have no agenda. You fake it. Check it out. 2015, we go to DC. We come out with no body politic, which means that we don't even have the mechanism to set up a controlled, effective maneuver.
That's right.
A controlled, effective maneuver is we have a value system that everybody understands and agrees to. Now we can move out. And if there's any conflict, we go back to the value system. What's the dispute? Go back to the value system. Gay people want to come in. They can't come in. Go back to the value system. All the whites want to come in. Go back to the value system. They're not allowed in. We have a bank. J.P. Morgan wants to fund our movement. No. Go back to the value system. Go find a black bank in Africa. You see? So, but when you don't have that, then the cuts get cut privately. Then somebody comes out and tells us this is what we're going to do. So everybody wants to go on October 10th and have a party in D.C.? Huh? A party? A pool party? Look, we're going to go take all of our money and spend it with corporations to get on planes, buses, hotels, food that we don't own in the name of liberation or justice or else. Nigga, go home.
Break it down.
It's over. That's over. That's over. If y'all niggas that stupid, I retire. I go with my 6 children in the woods with guns and food and wait for this shit to collapse. Cause y'all niggas are crazy. In 2015, 20 years later, 52 whatever years later, y'all still going to have a goddamn party with no plan. Y'all still going for the popularity contest. Y'all still going to see who got the best oration. Y'all still going to see who got the flyest suit to meet the new joint.
Yeah, right.
God damn it, Trayvon Martin and all of them need to come up out of the graves and ninja slice your ass. Every one of the brothers who out here, who we say we're standing up for, whose mothers are crying right now, who got no remedy, who got set up by the perpetrators, the Jobs for Justice people. And now, Michael Brown's mom is home. Hell, she might be drinking a bottle of OE. I'll go drink some with you, goddammit. Because I know you hurt. Your son gone forever. You got people that made money off t-shirts. Huh?
Yeah.
You got all kinds of things that happen. You ain't getting nothing. Yeah, exactly. Market. So, what are we saying to our people? All we're saying is quiet down. Quiet your voice. Look out amongst your people. Look at yourself. Look at your family. And figure out what you want to do to better your situation. That's all we're saying. Get quiet. Real quiet. And just think about it. Think about what it takes to rid ourselves of this now self-induced hex. Think about it. Think about what Chet just said, of how many times you blame somebody else for your own problems. Think about it. Think about how much knowledge you didn't learn about all the great goddesses and gods and all of that, and that's you. And we're sitting here in 2015 trying to figure out how to make it to tomorrow. It goes all the way back to the fact that we have not accepted who we really are.
That's right.
Really are. See, when original people accept who they really are, things gonna change. What we are. The veil will come off, right? And then the signals won't be crossed. They'll be clear. So a father won't have to be coerced into being a responsible man in the community. You follow me? So now you a big time speaker and you trying to run through all the pantyhose. Follow me? That's what happens. I seen it happen in the nation when I was in. You a captain, lieutenant, or whatever, you running through the sisters and you're supposed to be practicing Islam. Nigga, you still there. What is it going to take to turn it on? What light turns the switch on? The only light that can turn the switch on is the one that is completely honest with your spirit. The complete honesty that gives you 100% responsibility. Now, you can't blame your mama because she was on crack.
Right.
You can't blame your father because he left. You can't blame the teacher who molested you. You can't blame the white man for 500 years of terror anymore. You recognize him. You don't have to blame. You take responsibility in the sense that you say, from this moment on, I got the ship. I'm gonna navigate this ship. It's my ship. You got to get off. There's some life preservers. You can jump in that ocean because we're going this way. So now I'm not going to be a thief. I'm not going to be a liar. I'm not going to be a whoremonger, brother. I'm not going to have children and not want to take responsibility for them. I'm not going to live in America and make anything make me bow to some bullshit.
Break him down.
Nobody. I love you, mama, but I'm not bound to your bullshit. I love you, dad. I'm not bound to your bullshit. I love you, wife. I'm not bowing to your bullshit. I love you, children. Y'all niggas better get in order. Yeah. Why? Because I love myself enough to know that going that way is off of the path of success. I got that now. I didn't fail too many times. I learned through experience. I'm a mother. I'm not going to put Similac in my baby's mouth. I'm not going to eat meat all day and say I can't produce no milk. We already got everywhere you can go to get all the information. I'm not going to open my legs to any man that want to come in because I feel bad about myself and I need to get some attention. Get the sister to give you a massage or something. Go get some Reiki. Or go get a damn husband.
That's right.
You're too loose. Look, we have not equated immorality with lack of success in life because we haven't made that much sense to ourselves.
Teach, Muhammad.
Do you know that immorality produces poverty? You run around and you make a baby with anybody, now it's a mistake. Now you gotta deal with a mistake, but the mistake needs resources. The first resource it needs is love, but you can't love it like you're supposed to because it was a mistake. But we about to do justice for else with niggas like that. What kind of justice you gonna get? You can't get justice in your own mind. That don't make no sense to nobody, not even you. Honest conversation. Don't put me on no TV show. I'm gonna say and talk just like I talk right now. Actually, I might take out the cursing and the niggas. All right. I represent y'all well. I ain't gonna act like a fool, but I'm gonna say the same thing. Listen, you and Arna, I speak to you. You are unique. I'm gonna tell you why you're unique. Because you have been participating in a process that none of the people before you actually participated in. And you're a pioneer going through fire circumstances that we have never even explored to try to lay some tracks for some people who are not even born yet. You have to remember that. Why? Because it gives you the drive to stay the course, to be practical, but to stay the course. You're not jumping out of a window. You're walking across a bridge. All right? Shit, if you do jump out of a window, we're giving you a parachute to make sure you land on the ground and tell us what you saw when you was going down. You follow me? We ain't trying to put our people out there with some crazy stuff. Nationality don't work. Why are you going to take documents to get permission? See, you're dumb. Shut up. Let us tell you what we're doing before you come to a conclusion. You're making that statement because you're actually scared.
That's right.
That's your deceptive intelligence to get out of the argument that we are laying. Ain't even an argument. It's a thesis, a dissertation on liberation. So I want to hear you say what Amos Wilson said. I want to see you do what Amos Wilson said do.
Right.
I want to see you do what Mr. Garvey, Mr. Muhammad said do.
Right.
And why can't you do it together? Why do you need outside parties?
Go.
Let me say something about black leaders. I want to keep them responsible, but I got to speak to the condition. See, what I've learned is that if you don't stay the spiritual course in trying, working to develop yourself and help develop others around you, that is how you turn. I'm going to say it again. If you don't stay in the spiritual, cultural, and real work on yourself, you get tired and you start feeling like people aren't listening and you start feeling betrayed. And then, as those feelings begin to formulate inside of yourself, when that generation of energy is coming, something comes to match it to test you. And it comes usually in the form of some white folk coming to get you to go left, off the path. So you can study the leaders post Elijah Muhammad, let's do that, and see what's happened to black people. Even before, but I'd say post Elijah Muhammad, because that was a significant period when something else started to happen in the community. So I'm saying that to say, leadership can now only be effectively administrated from a body politic where the leader doesn't stay there forever. The old model of the monarchical leadership has become cancer. Why has it become cancer? Because you have bodies of people who are loyal who don't have a voice. That is what you call a slave. Loyal with no voice.
No voice.
Loyal with no voice. That's not order. That was a breast for us to be on to nurture us. Get on Garvey's breast. All right? Get on Elijah Muhammad's breast. Get some of that milk. Now get up and walk.
Yeah.
Get on Noble Drew Ali's breast. Now get up and go walk. Why? Because something should turn on inside of you. To the older brothers and sisters who've been around. You need to recognize your job. You 80 years old. Listen. I made a post on this. What did I say in that post? I forgot it. Oh, yeah. I made an example. During the year, in places where they're not on the equator, the fruit grow in the early seasons, spring and summer. And then by the time the fall comes around, it's harvest time. And then in the winter, ain't no fruit growing. What's happening? Everything in that tree begins to fall to refurbish for the next cycle. Why am I saying that? The society has been set up and constructed in such a way to keep young people immature, so that they never get the opportunity to be in positions of proper leadership, to get their ideas that are coming from them to come through into existence in a responsible way. What am I saying? Now, let's just look at the breakdown of how we do everything. Start off with how you get married or how you meet a mate. You to meet a mate is your father and your mother knows the family, meets the people at a young age to watch the development of the children who could potentially get married to better the community. And in that fostering, what you have is the young brother grows a loyalty to the father of the woman. Why is that important? It's important because once that respect is made, now he actually in his mind, and this is not to denigrate the sister, he actually in his mind takes on the responsibility of a father to the woman as well as a mate. I want you to think about this. Not a father in the sense I tell you what to do, and a father in the sense of I want to care for you like your father did because I saw it. That's a young person growing up in an environment to curtail all of the fornication, all the madness that goes on, so that they can develop into a leader in their home, which we call a husband and a father. That's what you call successful culture, spirituality, economics, and overall lifestyle. In America, you get the opposite amongst the lower so-called ranks. You get the freedom to do whatever you want, to meet however you want. You know why? Because we socially engineered to make you a savage and you don't even know it. Do you hear what I'm saying to you?
Yes, sir.
Now, I want to meet somebody, nigga, I go on Facebook. Some fine Jones on Facebook. What's up, man?
That's right.
Looking real good. Looking real good. You know, I teach classes at the National Black Theater, so you want to come through? Because I go deep. You know what I mean? I make planets spin. I make it rain, hail, snow, and earthquake. I'm God in the flesh.
You can't be yelling like that.
Yeah, you could be my earth. You know what I mean? You don't know what an earth is? Yeah, earth is one that revolves around the sun at a speed of 100 or 1,037 miles per hour. What you talking about, brother? I'm trying to get you to see who I am. Shut up, nigga. You don't know her father? You don't know her uncle? You don't know her grandfather? Stop talking to her. You know, listen, if a brother comes to you and he don't want to meet the men in your family, he's a nigga.
Right.
I don't care who he is. Why isn't he interested in me? He should want to meet the men and your mother. Why you want to meet your mother? Because he needs to see where you came from. You're supposed to be studying. Because he ain't gonna, just run up and marry anything. If the mom out of order, we got to talk. Well, maybe I've seen some things, and I just want to know if you've seen them. I don't know. I just talk. It's an order. It's a system. You follow me? So that's how you nurture young people into greatness. You follow me? You want to have a Million Man March? Tell everybody who had their vows, who got divorced, to come and get married again. That's a good thing to do. Progress. Those are the things that you put as a cultural agenda for your people. Not to come just build on science. I do shows all the time. Oh yeah, we want to build, we want to get to the science. Man, shut up. You live in a one-bedroom apartment. Excuse me. Because you might have a one-bedroom apartment. I'm trying to make a point. You live in a one-bedroom apartment or a room with no furniture, with a computer on the internet, inboxing women on Facebook. Nigga, you crazy. You crazy. Nigga, go get 5 jobs before you even talk to a woman. See, she's not worthy in your mind enough for you to have that attitude. Then you get married, right? And you got no principles, and then she's uncultivated, so you don't know how to deal with it. This is what happening. Young people, the fruit growing and not being cultivated properly. That's where your elders come in at. See, the elders are the fall and the winter. They come along. They ain't bringing too much new stuff. They already did it in their younger age. They brought all their ideas. So now their job is to nurture the crop that's coming up. Not to block them. Oh, I want to be the leader. Put me in the front. I know I've been around for 55 years. Well, sit your ass down then. Your knees ought to be hurt. Here's the couch. We're going to get you some nice quinoa and some cut fruit so you can chill. Yeah, take some notes for us. Tell me how I did the speech and correct me where I was wrong. Thank you, elder. They're supposed to be cultivating. We're doing it wrong.
Break it down, sir.
So now all the young people are acting a fool because they ain't got no goddamn guidance. We got a little bit, but not enough.
Not enough.
Yeah. So now the community gets injured. Why? Because I saw so-and-so on Facebook and he's running around screwing all the women and we can't stand that conscious community shit. We don't want to be a part of it. We're going to be with the LGBT group. But at least we get some love there. No, black man, I'm talking to you. She's disappointed in you because you don't want to be righteous. And righteous don't mean that you are square.
No, sir.
No, it means that you're thinking right.
That's right.
You listen, if you're thinking right, you're thinking about your children and your children's children and what they will be like. You will make different decisions, man. How are we going to build something and call for justice, right? And nigga stuff is going on. Where's the conference with the closed doors to have those discussions? Where's the conference that says, if you in this community, I don't care if you're a Moor, you're a Muslim, you are whatever, Rastafari, you are Aboriginal, whatever, here's the law. This is the code. You wearing the fez, you wearing the kufi, you wearing this, you wearing that, you represent that. If I see you out of order, I'm reporting you.
That's right.
But you, that ain't your wife. Who's that?
Right.
Who's that? Not like who is that, but yeah, who that, bro? Who that? Oh, you got a second wife? Okay, that's fine. You and your wife got that. Okay, good. Keep going. Follow me? That's a different kind of respect. See, what happens is, when you have genocide, we get broken from that, brothers. Now we have to reestablish it. We have to reestablish it. We have to reestablish an order amongst men and women that is appropriate based on the laws of nature and its design of success. There has to be a empathy amongst us, so much so that we don't want to hurt another person. And if we do, our spirit is quick to be like, oh, wow, let me fix that. What can I do? You see what I'm saying? That's a different kind of energy. The nigga energy is different. The nigga energy is socially constructed. The nigga energy is socially constructed. It is not in your nature to be acting like a fool. White folk have put together a pretty good design. We just gotta wake each other up.
That's right.
Because what's in you, you don't have to worry about none of that. You'll deal with that very quickly. But you're being sedated. You are being sedated. So now we gotta investigate what sedation techniques look like. And call them when we see them. So, my point is, all of our people who are trying to make some type of change inside of their lives, go home look in the mirror and say, who or what made me want to be like I am? Why do I want my hair to look a certain way, sister? Do I want to be like Marilyn Monroe? Who is that in that mirror? Am I possessed? Huh? Am I possessed?
No.
Why do I want to look like I look like? Why do I want to be like what I be like? What is the catalyst for my decisions? What the beautiful thing about that process is, it's based on a law system that guarantees if you participate in it willingly, you're civilized. You know why? Because ain't nobody forcing you to do it out of fear. It's your own love that makes you do it. Nobody holding the ticket over you to say you better pay it else. Nobody's saying, oh, if you're not going to be yourself, then you're going to pay a price. But you still pay the price. We just haven't come to the level of mathematics to understand that kind of money. You're still paying the price. But when your mind is dead, it doesn't look like you're paying that price. It looks like something else. So all we're saying is, we can't go here. Please. Justice or else looks like this. Scratch that. Just go with the or else. Go with the or else. What is the or else? We're going to do it ourselves. What does doing it ourselves look like? We form a body politic. What's the purpose of the body politic? To identify specifically everybody who belongs to us. We form a value system in the body politic for everybody to be in agreement with a code, a law, a system. After we have the value system and the body politic, all we have to do then is learn the procedures and techniques to open up our own potential. And that comes from setting your families, your culture, your dynamics in order. And then as we do that, all the things that we produce now we can own. The body politic is your protection. We got copyright and trademarks, we do that ourselves. We want jurors, we do that ourselves. We want doctors, oh yeah, we got that. We want economists, oh yeah, we got that. We want to go build something, we buy the land, put it under one of our instrumentalities. Oh listen, you so and so and so and so and so. Listen, this is a indigenous blah 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 blah. We got this going, this going, this going. Thank you. What y'all want to do business with us in respect to? This is our gross domestic product. You want to register a business? We register it with us. We start understanding energy and what? That sphere that maintains all its own force. So now we are generating the energy in our own circle and moving it around in our own circle. And that's what you call self-propelled motion. Self-propelled motion means you are God or a goddess. As a body, you decide what happens and what doesn't happen. And the more you infuse yourself with your culture, your type of culture, you don't have to worry about, oh, they got nuclear bombs. Okay, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Nuclear bombs need a trigger and a switch to turn them on. What if we get in a circle and turn them off? Oh, brother, you're talking some foolery. Okay. I'm talking foolery. Well, go to the Disclosure Project, where their own missile silos have been turned off by some entities.
Yes.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Somebody on the planet knows how to turn off nuclear bombs.
Yeah.
And it ain't white folks.
That's right.
I'm just saying. So don't tell me it can't be done, because they report, oh, shit is happening. You could do anything that you want. Literally.
Yeah.
You gotta know who you are, though. So the fear that's generated amongst us that keeps us constricted is based on not having a proper knowledge of self and a better strategy of self. So y'all can march if y'all want to, but My feet hurt. I don't have no bunions, but my feet hurt, and I don't feel like marching. I support everybody who shows up in the spirit of unity. I do. And I will never speak against any opportunity for our people to come together. I won't. But I will say, have an agenda. Make sure the agenda is detailed. Make sure everybody is informed on the agenda and move off of the agenda. That's all we're saying. And that is not happening right now. That's not happening. Not with this one. And then in 2035, you're going to do another one? To remember the 40th commemoration? Everybody will be there with ankle bracelets. They got to go in early. By that time, we got a 7 p.m. curfew because now, according to statistics, 90% of the black male population is on probation right now because we didn't do what we were supposed to do 20 years later. Before. So we're going to have the march, but the march closes at 7 p.m. because everybody got to be in the house by 8:30. Come on! People are collapsing economies intentionally because they see you about to come up. Huh? We got to do something for ourselves, and doing something for ourselves does not mean asking white people for anything. If they want to do anything for us, okay, this is what y'all can do. Right over there, yeah, in that corner right there, that stack right there, yeah, that's going to the Bureau of Indian Affairs to these Native Americans. Yeah, sign us some of those right there. Send them over here to Army. Yeah, send them over here. Y'all want to do something? Yeah, cut the checks. You cut the checks for all these other, cut a check. If you don't want to do that, okay, we ain't got nothing to say to you then. What else can you do for me? Nothing. Nothing. You cut it for everybody else. You injured us. You broke the treaties. You violated. You lied about who we were. We know who we are now. We know exactly what treaties you violated. In the treaty, which we put inside the book, you said that there was a compensation for taking prisoners. Article 16. It's compensation for taking prisoners. So now we got 60 million prisoners. And whatever the rate of 100 reals was in 1786, we want the equivalent in dollars today. Let's talk that. I don't want to hear nothing about no goddamn another amendment being passed. Follow the stuff that's already on the books under our real names. Ain't no black lawyers gonna talk for you like that. Unless they, the indigenous ones that we have. Maximo Empire, somebody who has that kind of knowledge. They're not gonna do it. We gotta do it ourselves. So my message to all of our people is, this is real. It takes real work. You have to learn to read. You have to find a partner if you never learned to read properly. Help you get to a level where you can read, study, and discuss, and get involved in something that is going to be transformative in your immediate life. Because what has been constructed out here, for the most part, has been to keep you in a trap. And you see it over and over again. More dismal each generation comes. Make a different decision. You have the power to make that decision. You have the power to change the circumstances. Questions. Let's take some questions.
So, from your lecture today, it sounds like you're opposed to the actual Million Man March anniversary that Farrakhan is having.
No, absolutely not. First of all, let me say.
Right, you did clarify and say you're not opposed to it, but you said you won't be doing it personally.
Yeah, I won't be going.
Right, personally.
I won't be going. I won't be going because of my own perception of my energy framework and what I've seen to this point. I am subject to alter that based on seeing different things manifest. Possibly, personally. No. But I do support the effort of unity amongst our people at this particular time. It is a wise thing to do, considering everything that's happened to us, but the intensity of the publicity around it, capturing the moment to make an announcement here and to the world is excellent strategy. Is based on my own private spiritual work on how I look at things.
Right.
And that because that's my private work, I'm making that statement.
Right.
I would never divulge that until after and say, well, this is what I saw based on what I did.
Right,
But
right.
I do want, let me say this, I do want our people to participate, not just that, but anything that brings us unity.
Right.
However, when we get there, when we participate, raise your voice to say something, to share, to say, well, listen, this is great. There's some things that we need inside of it. Minister Farrakhan has been a great leader amongst our people, and no one can take that away from him. Despite my personal critiques of him on specific things, they're actually not personal to him as a man. They are objective to the principles of the group. And that's what they are. So if I don't agree with Scientology, I just don't agree with white people teaching us anything spiritual at all. And y'all can go to all the conferences that y'all want, and you might get something good out of it. I won't be there though. I don't have a personal desire to learn anything spiritual from that type of entity.
Right.
So those are just principles that I live by. Other people go to conferences and they said it was great, and you know what? I don't take one atom away from it, and nor would I slander anyone who learns something from a white person.
Right.
It's me. I won't do it.
Right. I wanted to add, I had an idea in regards to that particular function or that weekend in DC. If Arner could maybe do something to, as you guys would say, veggie back on it.
The energy.
On the energy, because I'm pretty sure it's one great for networking, and I'm pretty sure there's people that may know of you or know of Ready for Art and would like to actually maybe have one of these out in DC, and it'll be, whether it's a 3-day weekend situation.
That's a good idea.
I was thinking, that's what I was thinking.
I can't lie.
Right.
That's a good idea.
Right.
I don't know. Let's that too.
What was that?
Yeah, and let's put our minds together to figure out from this point on, since you broke the placenta.
Right.
Figure out what we want to do down there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. But I mean,
a moment like that, you only get it. One time. And see, this generation hasn't had a Million Man March, so that's a good plus too, because some people you tell a Million Man March, they don't know what that is. Right. So it is, like I said, I agree, it is timely. And there could be some advantages for us, just for us, for all of the groups that we have, to get down there and press hard these messages. Right. Even in light of something that we think might not be altogether agreement with what we're doing, that's not important. To press a message and to get something done will be a great opportunity. So yeah, that's dope, bro.